What's going on YouTube? So today we're in Detroit with the latest version of Honda's spacious and rugged midsize SUV. This Honda Passport is getting some noteworthy changes for 2024, including enhanced off-road chops for the Trail Sport model, updated interior, and a new black edition to set at the top of the lineup. So is this updated Passport better than ever? Let's take a first look and find out. Now before we talk about the exterior design, I do want to mention again that you have that new trim level called the Black Edition. That is actually going to replace the Elite at the top of the lineup. And as the name implies, and like it has been applied to other Honda products, it is going to add a lot of black elements to the exterior design to give you that kind of bold and aggressive look for this Passport model. Now we're with the Trail Sport model. This model has gotten enhancements, not in the way it visually looks, but actually in the performance. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But as far as the front grille, it's still got that same kind of rugged look. You got the gray finish up or in here, the dark black finish up at the top, and that's gonna lead you into the headlights. These are also remaining the same. So you have an LED projector, low beam headlight. This is gonna be a halogen high beam, and then you've got the daytime running light circling around it. Turn signals will be located down here, and then further down are your fog lamps. Now, as far as your ground clearance, you're still going to be looking at 8.1 inches on all versions of the Passport. Now, moving on, let's get into those off-road changes. So with the Trail Sport model, you're going to have 18-inch alloy wheels. They continue to have this pewter gray finish, but what's important here is the fact that they're now wrapped in all-terrain tires. So these are general grabber all-terrain tires. That, of course, is going to give you a little bit more capability than what you had previously. Also, we have a new off-road suspension. So this is going to be designed with off-roading in mind to once again give you a higher level of performance than you've ever had before with the Passport model. Now the other two trims will continue with 20-inch alloy wheels. And then coming up here to our mirrors, as you see, we still have the nice gloss back finish. Most models will come fully equipped with all the features, including blind spot monitoring.
Now, before we get to those interior enhancements, I do want to talk about the overall length of this vehicle. We're sitting at 190.5 inches for the Passport. That's unchanged this year. We do also have big roof rails up top. And then let's go ahead and check out the rear design and see if Honda has done anything back here. Now, when it comes to visual differences, there are going to be pretty much none for the 2024 model, but certainly you're still going to have that very off-road look that the Passport has always rocked. We do have a big black piece through here that kind of goes to your taillights. The taillights are going to remain the same for 2024, so we have an LED brake light portion, standard on all models. Incandescent turn signal indicator. I really wish they would have maybe updated that to be full LED this year. And then dropping down to the lower area, I do really like that Honda's including the exposed exhaust outlets. These are pretty big diameter exposed exhaust outlets on this Trail Sport model. And as far as your tow rating is concerned, it's going to be 5,000 pounds on all Passport models. Now, Honda is going to include all of your safety systems as standard equipment, so hopefully if you veer off the side of the road, you won't end up in an African safari like where I feel like I'm at right now. It's actually quite cool being surrounded in all areas with nice scenery. It's a change from our normal review, but as far as the safety systems, all four are standard equipment for the Passport. That should remain unchanged for 2024, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into those interior enhancements. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, so let's go ahead and move into the interior. I don't have the key fob with me, but I'm assuming it's probably pretty much the same as last year. And take a look inside the cabin. So what Honda is mainly doing with this update is kind of making it a little bit more on par with the Honda Pilot, and we'll get into the specific updates in just a second. First, as always, though, I do want to talk about interior color material choices. all versions are going to come with real leather seats. Now, when you choose to have the Trail Sport model, this is going to get you the orange stitching plus your Trail Sport branding embroidered up here in the headrest. If you choose the new Black Edition model, that of course is going to get you Black Edition branding, and instead of orange, you're going to have red stitching throughout the entire cabin. Now, as far as the seats, they continue to be 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support, and you do have memory seating as well. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Let's quickly look at the overall materials inside the cabin. It is going to be unchanged for 2024, so we have leather across the armrest, soft touch plastic across the top of the door trim, as well as across the top of the dashboard with a stitching detail. We have kind of a faux aluminum that's going to run through the center section, and you'll also see that reflected here in the middle as well. Now, obviously, we're inside a studio, so we can't fire up the vehicle, but we do have all the electronics booted up. So we'll take a look at our gauge cluster first. This is going to be the same as it was before. As you can see, you have the 7-inch display right there in the middle and some analog gauges on the outside edges. As we move back to the steering wheel, nice leather wrap steering wheel. I do like the perforated leather over here on the sides. And it is going to be manual tilt and telescoping as well as heated here with the Trail Sport and also the Black Edition. But let's not wait any longer. Let's talk about what we have right here. This is an updated center console arrangement. So you'll notice, gone is that kind of minivan-esque folding armrest. Thank goodness, I think this is a lot more fashionable looking, and it's also more practical because when we open this up, you're going to notice a lot of space. This is a very deep center console. It's also very wide, and it's going to be a very practical space for you to fit just about anything. Now, you still have your 2 cup holders in front of that. We also have an enhanced storage area up here in the front, though, as well. So on your left side, you have your wireless phone charging pad, but you also have space for a second phone to set next to that. That is new this year, and it won't slide around or anything like that. Now, pulling back to the shifter, this is just your typical Honda electronic push button style. Nothing special going on here. Your drive mode controller is going to be back behind the shifter right there. As we move up, you'll notice the Trail Sport model does have 3-stage heated seats. These are going to be included actually standard on all Passport models, but if you want seat ventilation, you will have to choose that top-end Black Edition. As far as your climate controls, standard 3-zone automatic climate, very easy to use. They actually haven't changed this element, so this still looks like the last generation Pilot versus the new generation Pilot. And then in terms of our infotainment system, same deal for that. This is going to be the 8-inch display. It's not the latest version that has like Google built in and it's kind of the cool features, but it does still have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay via a USB connection, and you also have built-in navigation as well. Finally, up top, we have our auto dimming mirror with 3 Home-Link universal remotes, as well as a standard size sunroof.
And as far as space is concerned in this Passport, that's one of the really great things about this vehicle is that you have a ton of rear seat legroom. We're sitting at about 40 inches of legroom and about 40 inches of headroom, which is very big for this segment of vehicle. Also, we can slide our seats forward and back, as well as recline them a very good distance, so we can certainly get comfortable in this vehicle. Now, our bendy ruler went missing, so we do have a hard ruler. So this is a fully erect ruler, and we're sitting at about 8 inches of knee space. The seat is actually not necessarily adjusted to Drew, but there's still a ton of space back here. And then here in the center, let's go ahead and talk about some of the features for this 2024 Passport. We do have, because we have this more, traditional center console design, this area is going to be revised for 2024. We have vents right back here. No more hole in this area, which was on the 2021 model. You had like a little storage cubby, no more for 2024. And then down below that, we have a household outlet as well as 2 USB-C ports that are lighted. Additionally, we do have a fold-down center armrest with cup holders inside, but rest assured, if you have 3 Slurpees in the rear, you're still going to have plenty of room because you have 2 cup holders integrated in the door itself. We also have rear window sunshades as well as additional storage down below that. So plenty of practicality in the Passport's rear seat. Now, walking up to the cargo area, this is another strong element for the Passport. A power tailgate should remain as standard equipment on every single model, and hands-free foot activation should be on the Black Edition, but we don't have full trim level information just yet. So that will come a little bit later on. Now, as far as the space is concerned, like I said, this is a very strong element for the Passport. We're sitting at about 41 cubic feet behind the second row. As a maximum, we're about 78 cubic feet of cargo capacity, guys. That is a ton of room for this segment of vehicle. It's just a very spacious vehicle. So certainly the Passport is one of those products that focuses on the practicality. So if you want the space, this is a great option for you. Now, we do have little electronic buttons there that will go ahead and fold the seats down, which makes my measurements very easy. So let's see how long the cargo area is. We're sitting at 79 inches of length in the cargo area of the Passport. And then as far as the width, we're sitting at a very wide 47 inches wide. So once again, very practical. It's going to make loading things in very easy. And then up underneath the floor, we have additional storage as well as a spare tire.
Let's talk about what's under the hood of this 2024 Passport. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be very happy to know that nothing has changed underneath of the hood. So that means you continue to have the traditional 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine. That's going to be making 280 horsepower, and it's going to be routed through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, additionally, you do have a standard torque vectoring all-wheel drive on all Passport models, so that gives you the ability to send up to 70% of available torque to just the rear wheels if you get yourself in a sticky off-road situation. Now, fuel economy is not released yet for 2024, but there's no reason to believe that it would be very different from the 2023 fuel economy ratings.
Now let's talk pricing for the 2024 Honda Passport. Now this model we don't have official pricing on just yet, but I assume it will be very similar to the 2023 prices as you can see on the screen right now. I don't expect much of a price increase at all. And as far as availability, you can expect this 2024 Honda Passport to go on sale in fall of this year. So you really are not going to have to wait much longer. This will be arriving at your local Honda dealership very shortly. And if you want to be connected with local dealers and pricing information for this 2024 Honda Passport, go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. But guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this 2024 updated Honda Passport review. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you help get us invited to Detroit like this, where we can show you some of the newest products on the market. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support. We really appreciate it. Also, we'd really appreciate if you follow us on TikTok and Instagram, as well as visit our website. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.